Hi, my name is Maria Mormon, and I'm going to just be presenting on the health and social issue of childhood sexual abuse and the prevalence of that in the US and all around the world, and actually how just programs and things that are in place to help prevent this, and also to help those who have suffered from interacting with this in their lives. So my problem statement is that about 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 13 boys in the US experience child sexual abuse. This abuse could be from an immediate family member, a parent, guardian, babysitter, neighbor, sibling, etc. This is the reality throughout the United States that has occurred throughout time, and unfortunately we do not even have all the reports due to individuals not speaking out to show that this may be more prevalent than we think. This matters because child sexual abuse affects people when they are in their most vulnerable, innocent, and confused state, and will more than likely affect the person as they grow and develop. And in order to help reduce this from occurring, it is important for people to speak out and educate others, especially children. I understand the desire of wanting to not scare the children, but simply educating them on when something is not good or safe, and by opening up conversation for them to approach people for help. This can allow for children to feel more able to use their voice. And another thing that should be done to avoid this problem from occurring is by encouraging citizens to not be a bystander and to report when they think something is happening to a child or whom they know something is happening. So yeah, this is the problem that we are facing in the US, and really it's happening all around the world, but unfortunately in many countries outside of the US, it is really a tolerated thing. In cultures, it is so looked down upon for anybody to speak out about this happening. Whether it's humiliating for a male child to speak out about this, or it's a disgrace for the female child to speak out about this. It can cause a lot of problems in families and upset a lot of people. So I think most children sometimes face the question of, is this something that I can share and be in a safe situation? But unfortunately it's a problem, and it's affecting our children, and it's affecting even the teens that are that are participating in this act, this wrongdoing even. And usually those children that were abused, they have that chance of then becoming an abuser if they're not taken care of through therapy, or if they come to the realization, oh, this is bad. But if they don't come to that realization, there's a chance they could actually inflict that on somebody else. So these are 3 programs that are put in place in different areas, whether in Cincinnati or just in the US. The first one is just a program that provides education and training to caregivers and parents and whoever on avoiding sexual abuse on children. And there's plenty of resources that they provide. And the second one is really focused around providing, again, many resources and things to really enhance the diagnosis and the diagnostic process for children, that it's just being reformed every year and updated and changed to better diagnose children of the possibility of them being abused, as well as groups that they provide for abused children, and therapy and PTSD work. And then the Darkness to Light program also just focuses on training and education for adults and for teens and everybody. Just really, all these 3 are very powerful programs that have been created. And this is just a fact sheet that I've created. It's a flyer. It's all about fighting childhood sexual abuse. Talks about really what is sexual abuse, what can it be, explained as, for instance, inappropriate touching of a child is considered sexually invasive or abusive towards children. And many children may not think inappropriate touching necessarily would put them in that category, but sometimes that just has to be known. And so it's really just defining what that topic is and how does this happen. It can just happen in close knitted groups. It can happen with, it's usually with people that the child knows, people the child may trust, whether it's family or a friend or a babysitter, whatever. It's a process that happens usually with a close-knit group that the child can at firsthand trust. And there's usually a process that goes along with this called grooming, where the adult or the adolescent will groom the child, gain their trust so that they get to the point where they may participate or even voluntarily join in without even knowing what's happening. And then providing some stats of how common this is to just really show the readers of this flyer the prevalence, and then how to be proactive, giving examples of how to get involved in your community, and just talking about how we need to talk to people and teach people about sexual abuse and how prevalent it is and how we need to be standing up against it. It's not always a good idea to shy away from this conversation. Excuse me. But then I provided a hotline, and if there's any possibility that someone you know is being abused or possibly in a bad situation where something could happen. So thank you for listening to this just presentation about prevalence of childhood sexual abuse and how we should fight it to prevent any further trauma happening to our children. Thank you.